you cannot dictate morality. You cannot perpetuate the fallacy that powers be the source of all information on how to be. You cannot tower over me expecting me to cower like you hope, because I've seen that you cannot even count votes. You cannot speak with candor. You cannot continue to slander the work of true educators. You cannot continue to pander to the business interests, those that invest in private Alexis. You cannot execute every minority in Texas. You cannot expect us to follow the religion you practice. You cannot invest in schools if you insist on cutting taxes. You can't reduce the budget and convince us that there's cash in it. You cannot be conservative and claim to be compassionate. Amid 1,000 points of light, you cannot run a lighthouse. You cannot claim that you bring dignity back to the White House. You cannot just sit back and watch the voters' rights get trampled. You cannot fight wars on drugs because you cannot lead by example. You cannot claim the White House just because you roam the corridors. You cannot claim the country when you didn't even win Florida. Sometimes I wonder how you made it through your university. You cannot feel that Condoleezza Rice promotes diversity. Your narrow-minded views bring out the worst of me. I'm first to be open to new ideas, but you cannot even converse with me. What's worse is the perversity of you leading our nation. You cannot bomb Saddam simply because your daddy hates him. You cannot start from scratch because of born-again repentances. You cannot speak for me. You cannot even speak in sentences. You cannot place your emphasis on values while you pile your influential family's friends into your cabinet and bow to elder statesmen because you're faking. You cannot lead us, clearly. You could not lead the Rangers past the Yankees to the series. You cannot convince us you don't just hate Clinton because you know you could be president for life and still your interns wouldn't blow you. You cannot toe the line and tell us you have shown the sign and shown the sun on everyone when the economy declined as soon as you took office. You cannot help the rich see profits, cut the taxes at the top, and hope the scraps will fill my pockets. I'll speak freely. You can turn a deaf ear, but you cannot stop this. If knowledge is the key, my friend, then you cannot unlock this. You cannot lock out voters and then win just by a dozen based on false network projections calculated by your cousin, while your brother and your campaign manager held down the fort. You weren't elected. You had to be selected by the court. Where's the sport? I guess the people's will don't matter no more. The closest victory in history. You won it 5-4. Now you can face the nation. And you can even meet the press. You can say whatever you want at the State of the Union address. You can go crazy, calling your wife the first lady. Pretend that you're in control and not the puppet of Dick Cheney. Have the Secret Service follow you, ready to draw their guns. You can play Hail to the Chief and ride around on Air Force One. And you don't have to listen to me. After all, I'm just a resident. So take the Oval Office, but you cannot be my president.